If you want to be creative, stay in part a child. Those words from Swiss psychologist Jean Piaget strike a deep chord in anyone who's ever dreamed of creating, imagining, or building something new. Before deadlines, before rules, before society said, "That's not how the world works," there was a time when our ideas flew free. This video dives deep into the essence of this powerful quote, exploring what it truly means to remain part child. In a world that often demands conformity, how do children naturally invent and imagine? Why do adults lose that spark? And most importantly, how do we get it back? Understanding Piaget's message. Jean Piaget wasn't just offering poetic advice, he was a pioneer in developmental psychology, famous for his research on how children learn, think, and construct knowledge. He observed something remarkable. Children don't learn like adults. They don't memorize. They don't follow rules at first. They play, they experiment, they imagine. And in that unfiltered imagination lies raw creativity. To Piaget, childhood wasn't a stage to outgrow, but a treasure trove of mental flexibility and innovative thinking. When he said we must stay in part a child, he didn't mean to remain immature. He meant to preserve the essence of curiosity, wonder, and non-linear thinking, the very traits that society gradually suppresses in the name of responsibility, structure, and order. The natural creativity of children. Let's think about this. A child picks up a stick. To you, it's a twig. To them, it's a wand, a sword, a microphone, or even a spaceship. They don't just see the world as it is, they see it as it could be. Children are unafraid to be wrong. They don't fear judgment. They don't edit themselves. They just express. And that's why they're so creative. What makes children creative? 1. No fear of failure. Mistakes aren't shameful. They're part of learning. They don't carry the weight of perfection. 2. Unfiltered imagination. There's no box yet, so there's no struggle to think outside it. 3. Play is learning. Through games, art, stories, they explore possibilities without rules holding them back. 4. Curiosity over judgment. Everything is new, everything is a question. Adults seek answers, kids seek mystery. This mental freedom fuels innovation. It's no coincidence that some of the greatest inventors, artists, and thinkers channel a childlike playfulness in their work. How adult society deforms creativity. As we grow up, something changes. We enter schools. We're taught there are right answers. We're graded, ranked, compared. We're told to sit still, follow rules, and stop daydreaming. By adulthood, the child within has been trained to be cautious, to conform, to comply. Creativity gets replaced by productivity. Imagination gets replaced by realism. And mistakes become something to hide, not celebrate. Key ways society limits creativity. 1. Standardized education. Testing kills exploration. The goal becomes the grade, not the idea. 2. Fear of judgment. We're taught to seek approval. This cripples risk-taking and originality. 3. Rigid career paths. Society values safe careers over artistic or inventive paths. Creative ambition gets labeled as unrealistic. 4th, social norms and peer pressure. That's weird. That's not how things are done. These phrases act like walls around the imagination. 5. Perfectionism. Adults are conditioned to avoid failure, but all creativity requires trial, error, and starting over. Piaget called this process deformation, where adult systems reshape the free-form thought of children into controlled, approved, and predictable thinking. The neuroscience of creativity. Let's go deeper. Creativity isn't just psychological, it's neurological. The default mode network, DMNOG in the brain, is linked to imagination, daydreaming, and spontaneous thought. It's highly active in children and decreases with age as the executive function, responsible for logical thinking and planning, gains dominance. But here's the twist. True creativity happens when both systems, childlike wonder and adult logic, work together. When we silence the child completely, we lose access to the imaginative realm. When we reject structure altogether, we struggle to build anything concrete. Creativity, child's mind, plus adult discipline. Great thinkers like Einstein often credited imagination more than logic. Steve Jobs talked about connecting dots backward, a process that required both intuition and analysis. Creativity is not about returning to childhood entirely. It's about keeping the door open to that inner child, reawakening the child within. So how do we reclaim this childlike creativity? How do we undo the deformation Piaget warns about? Here are powerful practices for reactivating your childlike spark. 1. Practice playfulness. Set aside time to play. No goals, no outcomes. Draw, building dance, scribble, imagine. Play isn't a waste of time, it's a gym for your creative mind. 2. Ask what if. Again, children constantly ask, what if I fly? What if this glows? What if the moon can talk? Start asking bold, silly, and impossible questions again. They unlock hidden ideas. 3. Create without editing. Children don't second-guess. Write a story or paint a picture without correcting yourself. Let it flow. You can edit later, but get out of your own way first. 4. Embrace mistakes. Adopt the child's mindset. Mistakes are part of play. In fact, many discoveries are happy accidents. Don't fear them. Follow them. 5. Be curious over correct. Curiosity leads to invention. Perfectionism kills it. Approach the world like it's still full of firsts. Try new things. Break patterns. 6. Limit screen time and escape templates. Children create with their hands, eyes, and imaginations. Adult creativity is often digital, but stepping away from the screen reignites deeper sensory creativity. 7. Surround yourself with wonder. Visit places that spark awe, museums, forests, science centers. Feed your inner child with marvels. 8. Revisit childhood passions. What lit you up as a kid? Dinosaurs, drawing, making up songs. Go back to that. You'll find your original creative language. Real-world examples. Let's look at those who lived this truth. 1. Albert Einstein. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Einstein credited much of his theoretical breakthroughs to visualizing and playing with thought experiments, riding on beams of light as a child. 2. Pablo Picasso. Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up. Picasso's later art was wildly childlike because he unlearned traditional rules to rediscover raw expression. 3. Steve Jobs. Jobs credited calligraphy classes and childlike exploration with the design sensibility that changed technology forever. He stayed curious, he played with ideas. 4. Fred Rogers. Mr. Rogers built an entire creative universe around preserving childhood honesty, imagination, and emotional freedom. He didn't grow out of childhood, he grew into it. Creativity is not luxury, it's survival. In today's fast-changing world, creativity isn't just nice to have, it's essential. It solves problems. It drives innovation. It builds resilience. Rigid thinkers get left behind. Creative thinkers adapt. And the world's biggest challenges, from climate change to AI ethics, won't be solved by the old rules. They'll be solved by minds that dare to imagine something better. To stay relevant, we must stay curious. To stay human, we must stay creative. And to do both, we must stay, at least in part, a child. Jean Piaget didn't just study children, he defended them. He knew that inside every adult, the child still whispers. A whisper that says, color outside the lines. Make up a new game. Ask the silly question. Dream. And when we listen to that whisper, we reconnect with the most powerful creative force we've ever known. Ourselves, before the world told us who to be. So today, ask yourself, where is your inner child? Are they silenced, or do they still play with you? Because if you want to be truly creative, Don't just look ahead, look back.